I'm not sure who will be on here today, but happy Sunday to anybody that joins me. I am just gonna throw on a little bit of makeup. So my girls and I, we have 5 girls and 2 sons, and all 3 of our boys, my husband and my 2 sons, have been away this is the 10th day, and we are missing them like crazy. We've had some fun girl time while they've been away, but we've been missing them a lot. So they're coming home, and we've done some cleanup today, and I'm like, not feeling the hottest at the moment, just kind of in my cleaning mode and all that stuff. So I was thinking, my hubby hasn't seen me in 10 days, and I think I'm gonna throw on a little bit of makeup before he gets home. And he's supposed to be here in like 25 minutes, so this has to be a really short live. But I'm gonna do a little bit of makeup for you, and I figured if anybody's here, they can join me and say hi. And if you're not here live, you can always catch the replay and chat with me later. So you guys see me do my makeup with my fingers a lot of the time. And I love that for my quick hack. And it's really great even to show placement for somebody that's new and not really sure where to put everything. Saint is a cream-based makeup, as most of you already know if you've been following me. And it's designed to be worn in one layer. So it's really helpful to make sure you don't use use too much and all that stuff. If you kind of paint it on with your fingers and then blend it all out. However, I personally prefer to use my brushes. I feel like I have a little bit more control that way. And so once you kind of get the hang of it, you might like that too. It's fun to show the cheetah hack where we go in and we use just our fingers, and it's amazing how it can look so crazy and yet blend out so awesomely. If you've never seen me do that, scroll through and you'll definitely find some videos in here that I'm doing that. So it's really fun to watch for that kind of instant gratification thing. But truth be told, on my own, I usually do it this way. So I just like to have a little bit more control over my makeup application. And since I have mature skin now, not super mature, but mature skin starts at 30, and I'm in year 36 now. It is helpful to have a little bit more control over how much you use, where you put it, and all that stuff. So I like personally to do it this way. So I'm just using my detail brush. I used the blush and bronzer brush first to do my main highlight. And actually, I've been using a blend of Candlelit and Versailles as my main highlight. It's really helpful to have multiple colors in your palette because you can do that if you want to. And so that's what I've been doing. Candlelit is kind of my color in the summer, but in the winter, I get really pale, as you can see. So Versailles is a nice touch for that. I'm just gonna go right along my jawline. Chisel that out a little bit. If you're here, feel free to say hi. So I really like the blush and bronzer brush because it gives a really light application and really well blended. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, I love the Versailles because it's got those rosy undertones, which is nice, but it's still really bright. And so mixed with the Candlelit, it's good. Anyway, I like the blush and bronzer brush because it's really light coverage. So if you're a girl that likes, maybe you have freckles or something like that and you want that to show through, you don't want a lot of coverage, then the blush and bronzer brush is really nice to do your highlights, and you can build it up. So see how I have you can see all this stuff showing through, which isn't necessarily, it's not like freckles to me where it's really pretty and you necessarily want it to show through, but I don't like a lot of heavy makeup. I would rather go through with a tiny brush and just get this, but I'm just gonna show you, if you want heavier coverage, you can use the small end of this brush and you can build it up. So cream makeup is awesome in the fact that you can customize your coverage just like you can customize your palette. And you can build up that coverage so that you can get as much as you want. So it can be light or it can be more full coverage. And this is a great brush for that. You can get it with the bronzer. It's also a bronzer brush, and you can get it with any one of the 4 bronzers under collections on the website. If you're Canadian, you save 15 bucks that way on your bronzer. And it's only a $20 bronzer, so it ends up like $5. If you're American, then the bronzer is $14 and you get it for like $4. So you get $10 off it. So it's great. But anyways, okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so I'll show you bronzer. Squirrel. I actually am gonna use some bronzer. This is Tan Lines, which has been a favorite for me through the winter because it's kind of that golden bronze look, not too deep and bronzy. I don't think my skin could really pull that off in the winter. So I like Tan Lines because it's a bit better for fair skin. Again, buildable. I'm just kind of applying that on the high points of my face, kind of in like a rainbow shape across my face where the sun would hit, like that. And then I'm going to bring it down my neck too. So my face doesn't have all this color and then nothing on my neck. A little bit of cohesion there. All right. Okay, now getting a little bit more color. Now I'm gonna add my brightener. So this is a fun bit. And I'm going to, what brush do I want to use for my brightener today? I think I'm gonna go with a light brush, just my blend brush. And I'm gonna go in with my linen. And just go inner corner of the eye, straight down the nose. So sometimes I use straight Versailles for this too, which is a little less contrast, especially since I'm blending it in as my main two. But I really like the pop that linen gives. See how it's just like, you know, that contrast, it's pretty cool. So anything you brighten will visually come forward. So it just appears to kind of pop forward. So anything that you really want to emphasize and bring out, if you brighten it a little bit, it's going to give that illusion of more depth. Or sorry, more dimension. I guess depth too, because then the dark parts appear to be receding, right? So that's where the contour comes in handy to just kind of support these highlights. So I like to keep basically a diamond of light with my highlight shades. And then I'm also gonna go straight down the nose with that brightening shade. Now, if you have really dark under eye circles, you might find that you don't love a really light brightener like this because it's not going to cover that. That's just going to end up kind of looking like still showing through, you know, the shadow. But you can use a color corrector underneath your makeup if you want to. Some people love like mango, for example. That's got orangey tones, so it's going to counteract blue, ashy blue. Or some people really like sunlit. I like sunlit because I have a lot of purpley tones. So the yellow of sunlit, it's kind of a yellowy toned highlight, will counteract those purples. But you can also just take a small brush, and actually my favorite lately has been the Demi Bright brush. That's this one here. This is actually on sale right now for 20% off. Sorry, 25% off. And I take this brush and I just go back in with my same brightener that I was using before, so not even a color corrector, and just touch it along the darkest points of my eye. Just giving a little bit of extra coverage there. And I actually find that I don't usually need a color corrector when I do this. It just really brightens up the area, and it's a nice soft brush, so it doesn't cake on the makeup. I don't even really find I need to do much, like just tap it in a little bit. And then you might still see a little bit of variation of color there, but that's normal and natural. So that's okay to me, as long as it's not really dark and distracting. So I love this brush for that. And I like to actually use it for other areas too, like around my nose where it gets kind of red. And this guy here, blemish. The Demi brushes are great because they're super soft. And they kind of almost blend, well they do, they blend while you're applying. So it's nice. So there we go. I think that's pretty good. All right. Now I'm actually going to use this same color now. Since I brightened down the sides of, or down the center of my nose, I'm going to just kind of emphasize this nose contour. You don't have to go through all these details. You can really, honestly, you can do all this in 5 minutes, but this is a little bit of extra stuff I'm going to do here. I'm going to emphasize this little end of my nose too, because I've kind of got a long nose. I can shorten it up a little bit by kind of shaping the end of it with my contour. There we go. See how I did that? All right. And I'm gonna keep on playing a little bit. Bright, bright, bright. All right. There we go. That's good. So nose contouring isn't for everyone, but especially if you're someone that has a very prominent nose like I do. I love my nose. I used to hate it. I got made fun of all the time for it as a teenager. I love it now. It kind of makes me me, but I've found that as I age, my nose keeps growing, and then the rest of my features can seem a little bit out of proportion because of it. Unfortunately, the eyes don't keep growing. That would be nice, but no, they almost appear to shrink because the nose keeps getting bigger, and so proportionately, you're kind of like, are my eyes shrinking? They're not. It's just that the nose kind of makes them seem that way sometimes because your nose just keeps on growing. So I like to use that contour to pinch it back in a little bit, and then the eyes become the focus again. So it's not, to me, it's not about, oh, I hate my nose. It's just defining the smaller points of it to make sure that everything stays in proportion, if that makes sense. And here I am using my contour again. This time I'm gonna do my brows. Have you guys heard that small brows are supposed to be coming back in again? After we've done so much work trying to get our brows bigger. If your brows fell victim to the 90s like mine did. It's like, are you kidding me? We've spent all this time with like learning tips and tricks to make our eyebrows bigger again after all these years, and now you're gonna bring back the small eyebrow trend. Don't do it, ladies. Don't pluck all your eyebrow hairs out because they never grow back completely. We know. Those who lived through the 90s know. Okay. So, and I actually feel that larger brows gives a much more youthful look to the face too. You don't have to have gigantic brows, but just like fuller hair, fuller volume in your hair, thicker hair tends to look younger. Eyebrows are the same, in my opinion. So I kind of like volumizing those a little bit. All right, now for blush. What color do we want to do for blush today? That's kind of a fun one. I am going to do, I think I'm going to go with Baby Watermelon. This is a pretty pink. Go with Baby Watermelon, and I think I might do a little bit of nude with it on my lips because I love that combo. There's on the cheeks, and let me get my multitasker brush out here. First, I'm going to line my lips. It's a little bit of indigo contour. That's my favorite. I love lining my lips with indigo because it's a contour shade, so if it does fade throughout the day, it just kind of fades into a shadow. It doesn't look like a harsh line of, you know, bright red color or bright pink color. So if you're eating and drinking and you find that your lip color kind of wears down a bit over the course of the day, you still have nicely defined lips that just look like they're defined by shadow. See that? Like a lot of times I'll just do my lips with contour and then not even bother filling them. And I really like that as well. But I like a little color on my lips. So I'm gonna go in with my Baby Watermelon. And remember that you can build a palette. Like you can literally have all of your makeup in one palette, right? Anything you want, from eyeshadow to your foundation shades, your bronzer, your contours, illuminator, everything in one palette. It's pretty awesome. So here's Baby Watermelon. It's a great pink. It is matte. So if you like a gloss, then you might want to grab a different one, like maybe Ruby or something like that. Ruby's a really nice gloss as well. And now I'm going to go in with my nude. If I have it in here, I have everything in here. You'd think I'd have nude. Yeah, I do. I do. A little bit of nude will bring it down a little bit, make it a bit more of like a moody pink. Moody, nudie pink. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, I love this color. This is like, to me, this is like the perfect nude pink. So Baby Watermelon and nude. Isn't that great? Love it, I love it. All right, that's it. Now, eyeshadow. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna do much for eyeshadow because my husband's gonna be here soon, and I don't wanna be up here gabbing and doing a video when he's just getting home and I haven't seen him in 10 days. Be like, just hang on a sec, hun. You can wait longer. But anyways, I just got a new one of these. This is my favorite eyeshadow of all time. This is called Soulmate. It's so pretty. So if you're a girl that struggles with eyeshadow at all and you're like, I like eyeshadow, but I don't really know how to do it, honestly, you can just get one beautiful color like this and apply it with your finger if you want to. It really doesn't have to be complicated, and it can look amazing. Soulmate is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Speaking of gorgeous, my daughter just walked in.
Hi.
This is Era. She is almost 12 years old.
Hello.
You know what is another fun thing to do with Soulmate is put it on your lips if you like a little bit of shimmer. Like it? You have Soulmate in your palette too, I think.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones I put in there. That pinky shimmer, pinky peach shimmer. I think that's one that you have. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it's Ellie's, because I know I have a bigger sparkles.
A bigger sparkle?
I think this one has, the one I have is bigger sparkles.
Oh, okay.
And then I have kind of like an orangey sparkle.
Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna do, speaking of shimmers, a little bit of illuminator. What's my favorite illuminator, Era?
Glamazing.
Yes, Glamazing. Everybody knows this.
She talks about it a lot.
Glamazing is amazing. It's so good. It's just so good. Makes me happy. Right? Like, Era knows, she can attest to this. I will be in like frumpy pajama pants with like unwashed hair in a big top knot and stains on my clothes from Scarlett, our baby, like getting peanut butter on me or something. Coffee that's been reheated 40 times, and yet I have my contour and my Glamazing and all is right with the world. Okay, so I put Glamazing around my cheekbones here, inner corners of the eyes, give a little bit of brightness. And then I don't know if I remember to do this or not, but I often love to put a little bit just on the, did you see me do this?
I didn't.
I don't think I did it. Up here, under that bow of the brow, for a little bit of extra glam, and it kind of separates the brow from the eye a bit, kind of lifts it more, which I could use because I don't have a lot of space right in here. So I like to add a little bit of a light shimmer to kind of make that appear like a bigger gap and emphasize that area. Okay, so that's literally all you would need to do. Like, you could keep your eyes like that. I think it looks really nice. And it's super easy, like no technique needed for that, right? If you wanted to, you could add a slightly darker shade. I would recommend probably a matte, like maybe Lullaby, And this is a great one. She's laughing at us. This is a great one to add some contour to the eye. And when I'm bringing it, especially for those of us over 35, if you're bringing it out into these laugh line areas, into the creasy areas, creasy, crepey parts, I like the mattes personally because the shimmers, they almost look kind of like a foil in that area where it can sort of emphasize that. Yeah, Lullaby is such a great one. It's a really nice, kind of a neutral pink. So I think it goes with this palette really well. And I think it just looks good on everybody, every eye color, every skin type, every skin color. So it's a great shade. And I think it complements Soulmate really nicely too. Do you want to sit down, hon? Are you blocked? Sorry, you're just...
No, it's fine.
Did you need something or you want to hang out? Here. Okay. Well then, welcome. All right. So there, we've got just a little bit of contour and I'm just adding it to the outer corners of the eyes. Kind of lifting up, always think up, lifting, not dragging when it comes to eyeshadow. And then try to remember, just blend it out so that there's no harsh lines. And I also like to bring this shade very softly under the eye as well. And this, remember we were talking about how the eyes can kind of seem to shrink over time? This will contour the eye a little bit and make it appear a little bit bigger. So just adding that shadow back in and curving it down, and then we're gonna stop right about where the inner iris is, leaving that inner corner bright. It just kind of exaggerates the roundness of the eye. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then again, leaving that inner corner nice and bright so that it just stays open. The eye looks nice and open and bright. A little bit more glamazing. Have I mentioned I like glamazing? Have I, Era?
Many, many times.
Many times. Many times. If you don't have glamazing in your life, you need it, don't you? Okay. I also sometimes like to, remember I told you I like my nose. We can give the nose a little bit of love. We can highlight the nose just a tiny bit with a little kiss of glamazing. There we go. If you really like your nose, you can do that. All right, ready, done. Hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. It was a little bit longer than I meant because I always talk and act goofy. But anyways, done. And oh, I need to put on a little bit of mascara. I think I had a bit on still from yesterday that I didn't really fully get off. But, and that's not a good thing to do, by the way.
Could hurt your eyelashes.
Yes, it can. This is a great drugstore mascara. I'm actually really impressed with it. It's called The Falsies by Maybelline. And I really like it, actually. And is this even a waterproof? I think it might even be waterproof. Yeah, this is actually waterproof, which is impressive too, because I usually hate waterproof mascara. But it really is great. It doesn't smudge and it doesn't come off easily, but it will come off with eye makeup remover just fine. And it's not crusty. You know, most waterproof mascara is just like, it looks terrible. It looks like you have tarantulas on your eyes and like they're gonna snap off at any moment. That's not like this. And it's really nice. It gives you nice length and volume, I find. So I think this is a good one. I would recommend it. All right, thank you so much for joining us and have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.